What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about the Irish rugby team as we build up to the Six Nations, which is just under 2 weeks away. Now what I want to do in the next few days is analyse a few teams, chat about them, give you my thoughts on them as they progress in an individual video, because there's so much to talk about when all these teams have so many opportunities and progresses and strengths, weaknesses as they go forward, which is something that should be spoken about. And as we build up to the Six Nations, I want to try and cover it up, because I mean next week we're already starting with predictions and recaps. So I want to take this video and talk about Ireland, and then tomorrow will be England and Wales and all that jazz. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on those videos. But let's talk about now Ireland. Now there's a lot of talk about everyone's saying that Ireland are favourites to get the Grand Slam again, now favourites to win the Six Nations again, and a lot of talking, the confidence talk as they move forward to the World Cup and all that jazz. Now rightly so, because they had an outstanding year in 2018, becoming Grand Slam champions, doing well in Australia 2-1. Yes, they lost the one game, but they still won the series 2-1, which was outstanding. They went on to make history, beat the All Blacks, and they really had a year to remember, only losing one game in 2018, which is really something special and something to remember for Irish rugby fans and for the Irish rugby players. Have come a long way, and they're showing continuing improvement. And I mean, since Joe Schmidt has taken over, he's really shown so much character through that team, and he's brought out so much character and respect and drive and determination from these players, which has been truly remarkable to watch as an outsider who just has a lot of respect for the rugby team, and watching how Joe's really taken them from strength to strength. And obviously this year is going to be a massive test. Now a few are reckoning that maybe Ireland peaked too soon. Maybe last year was the year, this year they could have the downfall. Anything is possible, and that's the one thing you love and hate about the sport, is because you could be so on such a peak, and then all of a sudden you drop down and you're nowhere to be seen, and all of a sudden you're on top of the world and it comes crashing down. Now with the All Blacks, they've managed to really stay up top there for the past 10 or so years, which has been truly remarkable. And Ireland need to try and develop that and continue to improve in all aspects of the game, show commitment, show the strength, show learnings, and development. And so far, if we look at the Champions Cup this year, we are seeing that. We're seeing Munster, Leinster, Connacht, Ulster all pick up victories in their respective groups, divisions and all that stuff, and it's been exciting to watch, and it's good to see. And that's sometimes without Johnny Sexton or big names, which again is impressive, because that's something that's going to be tested this Six Nations tournament. If, God forbid, Conor Murray, Johnny, and all these big names get injured, do Ireland have the capacity to move forward? Can they continue to playing this great rugby that they've been playing the past a few years, especially in 2018? Can they do it? Now we saw, without Conor Murray, I mean, Ireland were able to beat the All Blacks, and for me that was quite a big moment, because I think before I predicted the New Zealanders to win, because I felt they were missing the key aspect of Conor Murray, and I was clearly proven wrong. So that showed that they could develop under the various scrum halves that are there to support Conor Murray, which is important, because that was a good tester for the World Cup, who to bring in, how to move forward. And I think that's very important going forward for the Irish. Johnny Sexton's the same situation. Can they do it going forward without the big man? Because I mean, let's face it, World Rugby Player of the Year in 2018, he was truly remarkable, and he was so strong, and when he wasn't on the field, it was noticed, especially in Australia. You could see it. I mean, Johnny Sexton saved them against France, where they got that drop goal last year to win that game. I mean, if Ireland had lost that game, they wouldn't have got the Grand Slam. And then the question would have been, would they have gone on to continue dominating the entire Six Nations? Who knows? That's a question we'll never find out. But the one thing is for sure, because of that victory, it took them from strength to strength. It showed the improvement, and we could already see the improvement from Ireland at the end of 2017 when they whipped South Africa. So there were progression. So yes, they can win without Johnny Sexton, but can they keep it up? Can they hold on to the momentum? I mean, we've got Furlong, who is one of the best number 3s in world rugby. Are we there? Are we there to have a guy who's good enough to replace him? Are they there to do that? You've got CJ Stander, brilliant rugby player. James Ryan, Omani. These are top class rugby players who, if injured, I really hope that's not the case. Are they replaceable, and can the replacements pick up and play the great rugby that these guys have been playing the whole year? I mean, Peter Omani was outstanding. James Ryan, outstanding. Furlong, outstanding. Stockdale, I mean, he is a young bloke who has got the speed of a cheetah, who just keeps going and going, and his skillfulness is impeccable. It's brilliant what he can do. I mean, you've got Ringrose. I mean, it's a remarkable team within that Irish squad, and I think as they go forward, they will develop and they will learn. I personally don't feel they've peaked too soon. I think they're continuing to form themselves. I mean, a few said the Six Nations was the peak too soon. Then they beat Australia, and yes, they lost that one game, and then everyone was all of a sudden writing them off. You can't write off a team for one performance. Remember, there's still a whole year to go, and Ireland came back and they won, and then they went on to the November internationals to make history by beating the All Blacks and by doing well in their campaign, which was important. And it showed character, it showed development, it showed improvement, it showed commitment, and it showed stamina, strength, which is important to have without some of the big boys. I mean, Henshaw was out. We all know what he has to offer for Ireland. So that was great to see. Replacements are there, and Joe Schmidt seems to have a plan in order to fill the gaps of these guys. And the reason why I'm talking about injury, you may ask, is because we have a very, very big competitive Six Nations tournament. Not real room to test out. So you've got to play a strong team so they can continue getting the game time, so that they can continue developing, moving forward. So that's extremely important as they go forward. And injuries can happen any time of the game. We've seen it. We've seen it in injuries. We've seen it in provincial games. There's still a weekend of Pro 14 to go. Could we see an upset with an injury? I mean, Johnny Sexton's not quite confirmed yet for England. I think he's got more chance of playing than Owen Farrell. But it's all these questions that need to be watched and asked, because an injury can take out a player. If you need surgery now, and it's big, it will be very tough for you to make the World Cup. So it's important that Joe has his players under control and has them in a good mindset, so that they don't do silly things to cost them an injury, or that they play cleverly and smart and continue to keep up with the talent that they've been producing. That is all the aspects that he needs to watch as they move forward. And personally, as I said, I feel that they can do that going forward. They've achieved a lot, they've proved a lot, they've shown so much character, and I think that the Six Nations will be a great year for Ireland as well. Do I think that they're going to win the Grand Slam? I'm not sure. Like I said in the previous video, I don't quite see a Grand Slam coming because of the competitive level of what is to come. The England game is a big game, and anything can happen. England are going to want to prove a point. But then you got Wales, and Wales is also a question, because they are going from strength to strength, and I'm going to talk about that in the video coming up later this week. So there's so much to look forward to, and there's also making it hard to predict whether or not we're going to see a Grand Slam. But can Ireland win the Six Nations again? Of course they can. Can they get Grand Slam? Of course they can. They just need to make sure they show up on the day, play strong rugby like they've been doing, and are alert. Because one thing's for sure, you've got to be alert. England are hungry. Scotland are hungry. Wales are hungry. The French haven't had many injuries going into the talk of this Six Nations. So that's one thing we must also note. And obviously, Italy, you never know, miracles can happen. They did beat South Africa after all. Remember that. So yeah, interesting Six Nations coming up. Should be a fantastic result. So I honestly can't wait to see what's going to happen, how it's all going to end up, and what results we are going to witness. But one thing's for sure, I'm quite sure that we're going to see a great Irish team continue to develop and go from strength to strength and move to the next level. And I'm excited to see what happens. We're really going to have a great year of rugby, and it's going to be epic. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I'm chatting about Ireland and giving my thoughts and opinions. Make sure you subscribe, because tomorrow will be England, and then either Thursday or Friday we'll bring out Wales, and so on and so on. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on another video. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I'll see you real soon for another video. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.